practice writing the chemical formula for the following structure. First, let's highlight all of our carbon atoms in pink. The first part of our chemical formula will be C10, and now we need to determine the number of hydrogens. We need to draw in all hydrogen atoms that are not part of the backbone. Let's make sure that all of our carbons have a total of 4 bonds. When we count up the number of hydrogens on all the carbons, we get 14, but we can't forget the hydrogen that is part of our amine. So that means our formula gives us H15, and including the nitrogen, we've got our N. So the chemical formula is C10H15N. Let's practice writing the chemical formula for the following structure. First, we need to determine how many carbon atoms are in the structure. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms, making the first part of the chemical formula C4. And then let's go in and draw the hydrogen atoms. We know the carbons on the end are methyl groups, so they each have 3 hydrogens. But the interior carbons are already bonded to 4 total bonds, so they do not have any hydrogen groups bonded to them. So we have C4H6. Let's practice writing the chemical formula for the following structure. First, let's determine how many carbon atoms are present. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atoms. So the first part of the chemical formula is C6. And now let's draw in our hydrogen atoms. For each of the remaining carbon atoms, we have 1 hydrogen atom bonded, giving each carbon a total of 4 bonds. So the next part of our formula is H5, and the final carbon has a bromine, so C6H5Br. Let's practice writing the chemical formula for the following structure. First, let's identify how many carbon atoms we have. On this structure, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, making the first part of our chemical formula C6. Now we can add in our hydrogen atoms. On the methyl group, we have 3 CH bonds, and on the interior sp3 hybridized carbons, we have 2 CH bonds each, and on the alkene, they each have 1 CH bond to give a total of 4 bonds. The aldehyde has an H, and so that gives us H10. The O from the aldehyde gives us our oxygen, and that's C6H10O. Let's practice writing the chemical formula for the following structure. First, let's count the carbon atoms. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbon atoms, making the first part of the chemical formula C8. And now let's add in our hydrogen atoms. For the cyclic part of the structure, most of these carbons have 2 atoms bonded. So let's add those. This gives each of the carbon atoms 4 total bonds. When we get to the final carbon, we only add 1 hydrogen because it already has the ketone bonded to it. The ketone has a methyl group at the end with 3 hydrogens, making the next part of the formula H14. The O from the ketone gives us our oxygen for C8H14O.